Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Andy's Crypto Talk. We're here again, and we're talking about the markets. So we saw this major capitulation down in the past few days, and it's kind of been, a lot of people got depressed and they thought it was over. And very soon after, we are so fucking back. So again, none of this show is financial advice. And I do appreciate if you like, comment, sub on the video. I do also have some links if you want to check out in the description. I will be doing a giveaway coming up at some point soon here. We're just waiting on MEXC to follow through. And then, yeah, we'll get linked up with them there. So what we're talking about in the past few days, I did make some videos, of course, about Citadail, but I also did a go live about Bitcoin and talked about this, kind of the situation that we were looking into. And of course, everybody anticipating the inauguration. Let me just grab a quick drink here. So a lot of anticipation, again, on the inauguration. I think some people thought, buy the rumor, sell the news, so they started selling early. But then there has been a lot of bullish news recently, and price has been reacting well to it. We even seen something like Texas is making a Bitcoin reserve. So this is one thing I'm looking at right now. Is if we just look at this consolidation from this previous all-time high right here, and then we can see that we've been kind of flagging downwards, right? And I made that big W showing you guys this is kind of where I think things are going to turn up, and then they turned up. Not exactly where I drew them, but eventually they did the exact same pattern we were looking at. So we're just breaking out of this trend line, and this is where I think there's the potential, at least if we hold 100K, that this will continue skyrocketing. We're looking at 120K as our first sort of target moving up, right? So anticipating this wave to be huge, especially when we're talking about all the boats rising, right? When the rising tide, which is Bitcoin, rises all the other boats, which are things like altcoins. One thing we'll look at, again, we talked about this on the go live, that we made this second drive up to hit this sort of yellow line, and that now we're correcting back down. We saw a massive push down just yesterday, or in the last 12 hours I should say, on USDT dominance. So ETH even worth maybe pulling up, because it did tag really low here, and it made sure it swept all this liquidity down here, and then it made a new rocket ship sort of candle up to the upside. So even Ethereum looking like, this could potentially get near to this sort of trend line pretty soon. And then I would look for a breakout out of that. So Solana, of course, the racehorse, sort of looking similar to ETH, where it needs to make another little bit of a push up into sort of this 210 to 215 region before we actually break through this. But that was a huge 10% candle in one day on Solana. Or 12 hours actually. I keep saying day, but it's actually a 12-hour. Yeah, day candle as well. But it only took 12 hours of that day to make it. So yeah, guys, I think we talked about things playing out as they did from the last stream. That this was a really good demand zone for Solana, and that's what we're seeing play out. That it's all moving up to the upside. I know XRP, we took a look at this recently as well. Let's see if, yeah, there's our line. So I said, we're breaking out of this, and it was looking good. And that would have been a great sort of entry for anyone retesting this trend line, and then it's off to the races. So yeah, this 13.8% in the past 12 hours. I think this signifies alt season is upon us. I even seen something about Trump rotating from Bitcoin into ETH. So yeah, I think altcoin season is upon us. I do have that chart here somewhere. Let's pull it over so you can see here that we made a big sort of pump up to 85, 88 on the alt season index. Then we corrected back down to sort of the 50s and just been chilling here. I think from here we'll see it pump back up into altcoin season. We just might be taking a break and waiting for Bitcoin to kind of make its move, which again we've seen quite clearly. We're above 100K. Things are looking good all over the markets. We're breaking out of this range and things should go up nicely into inauguration. Expect some volatility around here, especially around the all-time highs, you know, right around here. You can see it push up and do some more sort of volatile stuff and then continue on up after that. So yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about with the majors. See if there's anything else in here we haven't talked about in a while. I mean, Litecoin, we did talk about how this is a risk barometer. So this can act like what we say, like the VIX kind of for stocks. And that's kind of the rotation that we're seeing out of here. And this is actually a really good point to see if we really break out above this. Because we talked about this, that like, you know, usually when it pushes above this, it goes quite violently. We've seen that in the past several times, right? When it pushes above this, it goes quite violent. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're in something like this, especially if we make it above. If we make it above and stay above, this is gonna go crazy, right? And that's, again, it's a barometer for risk appetite, meaning that people are willing to get more risky when it comes to all of the altcoins. Speaking of altcoins, we have things like Citadail. And we've been talking about this one a lot. And you can see that we had this major corrective pattern down to the downside. It tagged as low as 12 million actually, from a high of 54. And actually, was it a little bit higher? Yeah, 54.5 kind of up there. And then ever since, you know, we've had this move up to the upside, we're creating this rounded bottom that we like to see. Right, this rounded sort of bottom before the parabolic move upwards. And then we also have this inverted head and shoulders that, you know, typically a nice pattern to see as well. You know, it stung fairly low on this drive, but again, I don't think that that's really a cause for concern. What we're more paying attention to at this point is that, you know, it breaks above this sort of top side of this box range that I've put in here. We want to see it break above that box and hold above here, and then it's going to make its, you know, its way. And I think this is kind of how we're going to see it play out, is that, you know, we're having this kind of consolidation to the upside. So that's even, I think, if you were to measure the move, like if we measured this this sort of breakout to the bottom there, that guy is basically, that's kind of, you know, in the 45 to 48 mil, until, again, we're just basically gonna rock it up there, and then that's where we're gonna have some corrective structure and then move on to the upside. So that's kind of what I would look at for Citadail, because we did see, you know, Griffain, this one pushed up, and we talked about this, you know, it's breaking, once it breaks out of this corrective structure, which it did, and then I said above 400 mil in one of my videos, it said kind of above 400 mil, that's where we look at, you know, playing it out. And I bet you if you look at my video, like, that's exactly the swing that I said. So we're at these all-time highs, doing this kind of symmetric pattern before I think we push with Griffain. I think this one's to the 1 billions is the next swing. So we can leave that on the chart and just see how it plays out. But we saw this massive push, 20% in 1 hour, then 4% in the next hour, 2% and 2% in the next 2 hours. So you can see there's a lot of appetite for something like this. I know we talked about NAI as well, because someone was asking me to kind of draw this one out, and that's kind of what we drew out. And it was right around here. I said, you know, once it breaks up out of this box range and then breaks out of this. So that's kind of what we're looking for on NAI, to kind of do this and then break out, you know, kind of do some rangy stuff here and here, and then continue moving on upwards. So, oh, Moby was also one we talked about, which actually did really good. I think we were talking about it, you know, around here, or possibly here at some point. Either way, you can see this kind of did the same sort of thing, trending channel, broke out of the channel. So now at this point, look for, you know, again, just for this, I think it looks like the sort of rounding. It'll potentially do this meme triangle right here, and then make it up to the upsides. Right, it's already kind of doing that. It's just got a little bit of an angle on it. So something like that, you know, potentially push up to the 100, 140, and then before it has a bit more of a correction back down to the downside. That's a bit extreme. I don't know if it's going to do something quite, because agents they do really well, it seems. A lot of people capitalize into these ones, where something like Citadail, I don't think people, they don't understand the potential of this as much. But like looking at this on a daily, you know, looking at this on a daily, it's just beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see on a turnaround. You know, we'll have wicks up and down, and I think, you know, this could bounce down as low as, you know, this 26, or even lower, like it's done before, down to like 21, 22. Worst case, you know, kind of bounce like that. It's possible, but again, if we look at this on shorter time frames, this is kind of, again, that's the shoulder, and we're looking more at the top side of this breaking. So anyways, guys, I just want to do a quick update on where everything's at, just to, you know, again, capture a little clout, and just talk about how bullish I think we are moving into the next few weeks and months here, in the crypto markets. I think this is just starting to get really, really bullish. So yeah, check out the links, not financial advice, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Thanks for tuning in to Andy's Crypto Talk.